Was Jesus crucified? A question shrouded in mystery. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ is one of the most well-known events in human history, a cornerstone of Christianity that signifies sacrifice, redemption, and resurrection. But what if we told you that the story of Jesus' crucifixion is far more complicated and potentially different from what we have been taught for centuries? Today we will explore an alternative perspective, one that may shock, intrigue, and even challenge your existing beliefs. The Bible portrays the crucifixion as an event meant to fulfill divine prophecy. Jesus was captured, tried, and put to death on a Roman cross, dying for humanity's sins. But over the years, an increasing number of historians, researchers, and even religious scholars have raised questions. Was Jesus really crucified? Could there be another side to the story? One of the primary sources questioning Jesus' crucifixion is a lesser-known ancient text known as the Gospel of Barnabas. This gospel, believed to have been written in the early Christian era, describes events that diverge significantly from the New Testament. According to this text, Jesus was not crucified, but was instead miraculously saved, while someone else was put on the cross in his place. The account suggests that Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus, might have faced the fate of crucifixion disguised as Jesus. Imagine the story reversed. A traitor believing he had the upper hand only to meet the consequences intended for the Savior. This account is not part of the Bible as we know it. It is considered apocryphal by mainstream Christianity, meaning it did not make it into the canonical texts. But just because it is excluded does not mean it lacks historical value. If this account is accurate, it begs the question: why would such a pivotal detail be obscured, and how did the mainstream narrative evolve? In the Islamic tradition, the crucifixion is directly refuted. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, clearly states in Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 157, that Jesus was not killed nor crucified. It asserts that it only appeared so to the people, and instead Jesus was raised to the heavens by God. This perspective suggests that the crucifixion, as commonly understood, might have been an illusion, a divine intervention, preventing Jesus from suffering on the cross. The differences between these narratives highlight an intriguing aspect of this historical event: the lack of consensus among religious traditions. On one side, there is the Christian narrative emphasizing Jesus' sacrificial death, and on the other, the Islamic account affirming that Jesus did not die in this manner. Could these differences be pointing us towards a deeper truth? History is often written by those in power, and what we accept as truth is frequently filtered through political, cultural, and religious agendas. Some scholars argue that the Roman authorities might have altered the narrative surrounding Jesus for their purposes. During the early spread of Christianity, the Roman Empire played a crucial role. The Emperor Constantine, in the 4th century, effectively made Christianity the state religion of Rome. This institutionalization inevitably influenced which accounts were included in the official Bible, possibly sidelining any narratives that were deemed unfit for political unity. Many theories suggest that early Christians who wanted to present a divine sacrifice to the Roman world may have exaggerated or altered certain details to align Jesus' story with ancient prophecies and make the faith more accessible to a Roman audience already familiar with the concept of divine sacrifice. Another key point in the crucifixion debate is the Shroud of Turin, believed by some to be the burial cloth of Jesus. The shroud bears the image of a man with wounds consistent with the crucifixion. But the origins of this relic are shrouded in mystery. Carbon dating tests conducted in the late 20th century dated the cloth to the Middle Ages, suggesting it was a medieval forgery. However, proponents argue that the tests might have been inaccurate due to contamination, and that the shroud could indeed be authentic. The image itself remains inexplicable. It appears to be scorched into the fabric, with no known technology capable of producing such an imprint. Does the Shroud of Turin represent Jesus' crucifixion? Or could it be evidence of another phenomenon altogether, perhaps even pointing to a staged crucifixion? Another controversial theory is the swoon hypothesis, which proposes that Jesus did not die on the cross, but merely fell into a deep coma or unconscious state. This theory suggests that Jesus' followers might have misinterpreted his condition as death, and he was subsequently revived while in the tomb. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 15, verse 44, notes that Pontius Pilate was surprised at how quickly Jesus supposedly died. Typically, crucifixion victims could linger for days before death, while the New Testament suggests that Jesus was on the cross for only a few hours. This relatively quick time frame has led some to speculate that Jesus' death may have been hastily assumed. The swoon theory posits that once Jesus was placed in the tomb, he could have regained consciousness and eventually left the tomb with the help of his disciples. This theory, while intriguing, is largely rejected by mainstream Christianity as it contradicts the miraculous aspect of the resurrection, which is a foundation of Christian belief. Whether Jesus was crucified, whether he was saved by divine intervention, or whether his death was misinterpreted by those around him, these various accounts and theories raise profound questions about the nature of truth in historical and religious texts. Could the crucifixion have been more symbolic than literal? Did early Christians craft a narrative that would resonate deeply within the cultural and spiritual context of the Roman Empire? There is also the perspective that the crucifixion story serves a greater allegorical purpose. Jesus' suffering and death could symbolize the ultimate act of surrender, a pathway to redemption that transcends a mere historical event. In this view, the crucifixion is not just about Jesus of Nazareth as a man, but about an archetypal journey that resonates within the human soul, the idea of sacrifice, loss, and ultimately resurrection and hope. The story of Jesus' crucifixion has shaped Western culture, spirituality, and morality for 2 millennia. Whether the crucifixion happened precisely as the Gospels describe, or whether it took a different form entirely, its influence on human history is undeniable. The varying accounts from the Gospel of Barnabas, the Quran, the Shroud of Turin, and alternative historical theories all challenge us to look beyond the accepted narrative and consider the possibility that the true story might be more complex and multi-layered than we imagine. In the end, whether Jesus was crucified may depend on one's beliefs, interpretations, and the sources one trusts. The mystery of Jesus' final moments, whether on the cross, spared by a divine miracle, or surviving against all odds, remains as compelling and enigmatic as ever. The truth of what happened over 2,000 years ago may forever lie just beyond our reach, leaving us with faith, speculation, and the enduring power of an extraordinary story that continues to inspire and provoke thought throughout the ages. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Your support means a lot and helps us bring more content like this to you. See you in the next one.